Whiteout conditions throughout the Great Plains sure made travel difficult, but we're still expecting a full house at Empower Field at Mile High here in Denver. But today, two AFC teams set to do battle. It should be a good one, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Denver Broncos. And off we go from Denver. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
2nd and 10. Now it's Nix. Setting up a screen for Harvey. Oh, he bowls over him. Breaks the tackle, now Allen. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one covers 29 yards. First down. They'll run with a second-round pick from April's draft. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That was Terrell Bernard navigating his way to the backfield and dropping him for a loss.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Nix to the air. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league.
Now this is picked up by the Bills. And now look at him go. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team, because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. And this will be good. Off the right upright, but he got a favorable bounce, and he gets it to go. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he returns this to the 22. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Evan Ingram was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. To throw is Nix. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And it's fielded at the 34. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. For the Buffalo offense coming out, and it is Josh Allen who is at the helm.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. There aren't too many guys who can do both. And at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
12 more yards there and another 1st down. Cook is in. Touchdown, Bills. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Prater on to add the extra point. Well, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was James Cook capping all of that off with a touchdown run. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Denver's offense now set to go. They've been outplayed early, no question, down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Harvey. And space tough to come by there as they'll get maybe a yard to the 37. Here's a 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 37-yard line.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. That's complete to Troutman, right side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Nix going to give to Harvey. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring us to the end of the 1st quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Up the middle, it's Harvey. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. James Cook and the Buffalo offense returning to work now. So they'll be looking to get in the end zone again. Had the touchdown, as you see, last drive on 4 carries. And during the break, we were looking at some of the replays from the previous drive. Really good holes created, great space.
Yeah, I like the observation you had, though, during that break about, okay, they've got to do something to slow down their runners. So is it bringing in more defensive linemen? Is it dropping in extra linebackers? What are you going to do? Personally, I'm going to take my safety and drop him into the box. I'm going to have at least 7 in there until he shows that he can beat me through the air. Yeah. I've got to slow down the running game.
I was just going to say, you'll take the exposure in the passing game over the top until you can prove that you can stop the running game.
Sometimes you go cold because you haven't thrown it in a while. Let's see if he can heat up again.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards the gain for number 18. First down, here's the run with Cook. And despite a nice juke there, really good move, he only gets about a yard, and it brings up 2nd down.
I'll give him credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stop the run, and then executed.
Here's Allen. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 21. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. To the air, Allen. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. This a 31-yard attempt. Prater's kick is good. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first-half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Sutton rolling it in on the left side. And Sutton will have the Broncos first down as he's up to the 47.
Broncos first down.
To throw, here's Nix. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Throwing Nix. It's caught inside the 25. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Here's Nix. Yeah, to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Nix looking to throw again. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of the team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And you wonder if with Allen's arm, they might just take their chances by dialing up the long one. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So halftime straight ahead. It is time to join our good friend Scott Hanson. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you, and welcome in, everyone. Scott Hanson in Orlando, where it almost never snows. These two teams dealing with a light dusting, and that's expected to go on into the second half. Who handles it better? Let's go back out to the stadium and check in with our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
right, Scott, thank you. The snow is continuing to trickle down here as we ready ourselves for the second half to follow. The Rocky Mountain snow looks like it's going to continue through this second half as we are back underway in Denver. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. And that's complete to Cooks. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's Allen to throw it. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
70 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Allen going to throw. Cooks on a quick slant. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here's Cook again. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop it right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Brandon Cooks from 21 yards away. And the Bills take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Out of the gun, a run with Harvey. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on third down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And that's also all for this third quarter of play. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. Allen. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up first and 10 at their 35-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Nix. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Daquan Jones fighting his way home to get the sack.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Nix from the shotgun. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And that's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter? It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. On play action, Allen. Looking on the out route, he finds Shakir. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Khalil Shakir, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Bills up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. Now Prater to add the PAT. And this hits off the right upright, but it finds its way through. Could have gone either way, but he got it to go. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone, so this ball will come out to the 30 now. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown, so now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
That's good for a Broncos 1st down.
They run straight ahead with Harvey. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
From the gun on 3rd down. Nix. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page
quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Broncos unable to convert here on fourth. And that will force a turnover on downs. They'll try the middle with Cook. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Alex Singleton, a former Canadian League star, in on the stop.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. The Bills send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos coming out now.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, they seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Gregory Rousseau able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line.
The Bills' offense and running back James Cook heading onto the field. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late fourth quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, as Charles grabs our shovels, we say so long from snowy Denver.
See you next time, everyone.